Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here doing another movie review on Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. I'm going to do a non-spoiler version and then I'm going to go into the spoilers section of this video. First off, I want to say that I had a great time seeing it. Star Wars, big thing for me. I know I'm the only person that has this shirt, right? I'm the only one that ever shops at Target. Yeah, not really. Okay, I saw a ton of people wearing this shirt over at Star Wars Celebration this year. I was very excited to see this movie with my wife, the lovely Charlita One. She's a huge Star Wars fan. She loves Star Wars. She's very excited. I saw it also with my father, Shartimus Alpha. He loves Star Wars. He saw the original, the original trilogy in the theaters with my uncle, and my uncle's not with us anymore, but my cousin is, his son, and he saw the movie with us too. And my cousin, he's been a fan of Star Wars longer than anybody I know. I remember when he was only 3 years old watching Star Wars and quoting the movies while watching them. So it's a family event for us to go see this movie. And like I said, I'm going to go into the non-spoilers, so I'm not going to really talk about many details. I'm just going to say that I really enjoyed the movie a lot. I really, really liked it. I can go so far to say I loved the movie. I can't wait to see it again. It left me thinking about all kinds of things, and I think in a good way. I'm still thinking about all kinds of stuff of what's to come. The movie didn't answer everything that I wanted to have answered, but I think I'm okay with that because I'm happy wanting more. You know what I mean? So I felt like they did it. You know, they gave us enough good stuff, but at the same time, they left me with a lot of things that I don't know that I'm waiting to see answered in future Star Wars movies, which we already know we're going to see. Now, compared to the prequels, like right away, all four of us are talking about the prequels and comparing this movie to the prequels. I think this destroyed any of the prequels. I can't say that I enjoyed this movie less than any of those prequels at all. This is on par, to me, you know, this is my personal opinion, but I think it's on par with the original trilogy. I think it fits in better than any, it's the closest thing that we've gotten to the value of the original trilogy than anything else that has ever come out Star Wars for me. So that has just made me very, very excited overall. New characters. I'm invested in those new characters. I like all of the new characters. I'm very, very pleased with them. Totally invested in those. I love the action. The action was great. We saw 3D IMAX. Didn't see too much stuff where I'm like, I can't tell what's going on. I was able to track everything. We had some cool shots that I'm not really used to seeing of, like, you know, of battles having taking place from farther away. There's this one shot where you see the X-Wing flying around and doing all this crazy dog fighting and stuff. You see some different perspective on some of the action shots, which I really liked a lot. I liked the relationships between these characters, especially the new characters. The old characters involved with the new characters fit in very well, so the relationships between all the characters I thought was really good. I thought all of the acting was really good. I believed in everybody. I was just totally sold on all of the acting. Now, there were some plot similarities to some previous Star Wars films that were extremely familiar, and I could see that being a problem for a lot of people. For me, I wasn't necessarily bothered by it because, especially, you know, as a musician, you learn people like what they know and they know what they like. You gotta kind of like feed people like a certain dose of familiarity, and I feel like with the plot, we definitely got that dose. So, and then there's a lot of fan service stuff that you would expect to see in this movie, but not so much to the point where I felt like it was like jamming it down my throat. You know what I mean? Excuse me, by the way. Had a breakfast burrito this morning. So good. And then, yeah, I just thought overall, I mean, I'm very happy with it, but like I said, not totally perfect, not totally unpredictable, you know what I mean? But incredibly enjoyable. Okay, spoilers section. I have a lot of notes written down here, and I'm not going to talk about everything in this movie, okay? So you've been warned, spoilers, alright? So if I forget something, go ahead and feel free to mention it in the comments below. If you haven't seen the movie yet, I recommend you don't read the comments. But I'm just going to go through this list right here, or else if I went and elaborated everything, it would just be like a 45-minute video, which I know you guys love me so much, but I don't think you love me enough to sit around for 45 minutes of Star Wars talk, huh? No, you're not. All right, I see the annotations, or not the annotations, but you know, the retention time. We have our analytics as YouTubers that we can look at, and you can see the analytics of how long you guys watch my videos. I can see that. Anyway, okay, so spoiler section. Here you go. You've been warned many times by now. This was a Kylo Ren Han Solo movie, and I thought that was cool as shit because I didn't really see that coming. I was like, okay, I thought we were gonna get some Han Solo. I knew Han Solo was going to be in the movie, but this was a Han Solo Kylo Ren movie. I love Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren, great villain. I'm very, very happy with Kylo Ren. Okay, his dark side story, way better than Anakin's. That was the dark side story I wanted to see. He still has the flicker of light in there. He's trying to push it down, but he can't, and he does, and he's confused, and it's adding more to his anger and everything. Great dark side story, and you know, the number one spoiler, the number one spoiler of the movie, he kills his father Han Solo. And his name is Ben Solo, so he actually kills Han Solo, which was like, what? I mean, I'm not pissed off that they wrote that. I think it's still good writing, but I don't think I've ever been so emotionally crushed by seeing a fictional character die. I actually felt like a part of my chest go, whew, like, what? Oh, I was like, oh no. I think I just went, what? Like, oh man. And it was, I thought it was well done. Like, when you see the two of them standing on that platform, my cousin said it reminded him of, you know, Luke and Darth Vader. Like, in my mind, I was like, first thing I thought was like, okay, Han Solo wants to die. And sure enough, right after, he dies. So, yeah, it wasn't totally unpredictable, but I thought it was just so well done. It hit me emotionally very, very hard, and I didn't cry, okay? Didn't cry at the damn movie theater, but it hit me. I really felt it. Okay, and I also thought it was built up very well, because the whole movie kind of surrounds that, and we keep learning more about Kylo Ren. Now, going back to the beginning of the movie, I thought Poe Dameron was awesome. I want to see more Poe Dameron. I thought his story was kind of like what was it, Biggs Darklighter? Or was it like Luke's friends, you know, from Tatooine? It was like just taking a look at an average skilled pilot. I mean, he's an exceptional pilot, but he's not a Jedi. You know what I mean? Like, he's not a Jedi. He's just a really, really good pilot. So seeing that story, and I thought he was a very likable character. I wanted to see more Poe Dameron. Seeing Poe and Finn team up flying the TIE Fighter. I'm even more stoked having my huge elite TIE Fighter figuring, vehicle figure that, you know, now I could put my Poe and Finn figures in there. I'm happy about that. The Finn story was great, right? A rogue stormtrooper? I thought that was awesome. I thought that was really good. I love that. Rey, I wish I liked her story a little bit more. It seems like she was traumatized by something that happened when she was a little kid, and then she's just stuck in the desert waiting for her parents to come back or something. Like, I was kind of like, oh, that's a little bit shallow, but I do like the character, though. I thought she was very likable. I loved her relationship with Han Solo, so I thought Rey was great. Kylo Ren versus Rey with the whole Force push thing and the interrogation when she's getting tortured and you see her use the Force. The use of the Force. I felt like they brought the Force back. That was the Force that I knew. Now, this midichlorian count bullshit, I don't know that. But her concentrating and using the Force and pushing back, or her using the Force against that stormtrooper to unlock her from the chair. You know, it took her 3 tries and you just see it finally work. That was great. Very well done. I absolutely love that. So I'm rooting for Rey. Is it just me? And there's another thing I wanted to pick out. I think the casting choice was really good. I mean, I felt like I could believe Rey is Luke Skywalker's daughter just by her facial features just a little bit. I feel like the actor that played Kylo Ren, I felt like his nose and his facial structure just had a minor similarity to Harrison Ford's facial structure. Just a little bit, you know. I felt like they picked characters that could be a little bit believable. I don't know. That's what I saw. Most Chewie in a Star Wars movie that we'd ever seen, right? I don't think we've seen so much Chewie in a Star Wars movie. I mean, he's in all the original, the original trilogy, but I felt like we got more Chewie than ever. And then I also really liked the humor a lot in this movie. We had some really good humor in it. Again, the fan service was great. I liked the fan service. Captain Phasma, Boba Fetted. Yeah, Captain Phasma got Boba Fetted. Am I surprised? No. Am I disappointed? Yes. Because let me tell you what, man. I really thought that when they asked her, when they made her shut down that shield, which again, plot point stolen, you know, from previous movies, of course. When she shut down that shield, I thought she played a trick on them. You know what I mean? I thought maybe there was a timer and the shield would come back on in like 5 minutes and she fooled them or something like that. I expected more from Phasma, but at the same time I feel like I shouldn't have, because the way she was presented, the hype around the character, we knew she was going to get Boba Fetted, and she got Boba Fetted, but not totally Boba Fetted because she does live. But I'm still saying she's Boba Fetted. I'm using that word, or that phrase. One thing I didn't like is, well, before I mention this, General Hux. I thought General Hux was good. Not fantastic, not spectacular, but I feel like he served his role in this movie very well, and I'm satisfied with General Hux. I like that he was there, you know, but nothing crazy, you know. It was kind of like one of those things where I know what I like what I know, I need that General Tarkin kind of character in there, and they gave us Hux. Thank you, I needed it. My cousin made a point. Did you notice that all of the First Order people were white and very Nazi-ish, and all of the new characters from the Resistance are either female or a minority of some sort? And actually the one female character of the First Order ended up being totally useless, right? So, but Finn was originally a, you know, stormtrooper, so I don't know, you can go against that. But anyway, I thought that was a good point to make. I don't know. Anyway, so the thing I didn't like was, another thing I didn't like was Snoke. This Emperor Palpatine-ish type character. It was just so, he looked like a weird orc in this giant hologram thing. I can't say I was really sold on that so much. That was probably one thing that I liked the least about this movie was Snoke. So, but we should learn more about Snoke in the next movies. You know, we're going to learn more about Luke Skywalker. We didn't really get much Luke Skywalker at all. I mean, what we saw in the trailer is like 50% of what we saw in the movie. So, there's barely any Luke Skywalker at all. And at first I was getting kind of upset about it, but then, like, you know, me getting involved in the story, I feel like it just made a lot of sense later on. So, I was cool with it. I liked BB-8. I felt like BB-8 wasn't too over the top with the cutesy. I mean, very emotional droid though, right? There's times where the droid's like, "Aww." Like I thought that was kind of funny. He was like really emotional, but I like how he's very different than R2-D2 still. Not an offensive droid. You know, he doesn't have the kind of weaponry that we get, you know, with R2 and everything. I like the flaming thumbs up. I thought that was hella funny. I love that. I really liked Finn and Rey's relationship. I think that makes sense. I thought the two of them coming together made sense to me, especially Finn explains that he's never had anybody like look at him like that before, like a real person before. And then Rey being somebody's, you know, basically deserted all by herself. You know, you could imagine how she would get attached to someone easily and everything. So I liked that relationship. My cousin said he felt like it may have been a little bit forced, but I liked it. I liked seeing it. He didn't even say it looked a little bit forced, but it was like shoehorned, I think, which kind of means the same thing. Anyway, and then I wanted to also say that the final fight, you see Finn and Kylo Ren fighting each other. I love that he was clumsy as hell with the lightsaber. I love the way Kylo Ren fought. That crossguard thing came in handy for the close range stuff. That made sense to me, okay? But I like that Finn pretty much got his ass kicked pretty quick. I was kind of expecting that to happen. I'm glad that happened. And I really enjoyed Rey wielding the blue lightsaber. I thought it was quite badass. It made me geek out so hard for such a weird reason, and this is my reason. Lunges. She's lunging at him, you know? Like, this is not... I mean, I love Ray Park as Darth Maul, and I love that, you know, Phantom Menace lightsaber scene, but I miss, like, the original lightsaber fight scenes, and this reminded me of the original lightsaber fight scenes. Like, she's a lot shorter than him. It makes so much sense she's gonna thrust at him like that, and the way she used it, and it made sense that she would hold her own because she's almost so much more tighter with the Force than he is. So she just started using it. She's able to push him back, you know, from the torture room and everything. So I loved that fight. It was a bit clumsy. I felt like it needed to be clumsy. I absolutely loved it. I loved that final fight scene. I thought it was great. And I love how his whole dark side story is the Anakin story that I wanted that I never got. Everything about it. You see how he gets scarred. So now we're going to see a new Kylo Ren in the next movies where he's going to be even more messed up. I love that he was willing to take off his helmet. I love that wasn't like a thing where they had to hide his face. The fact that he's just such a wannabe. Oh, another thing was I liked Leia and Han, how you really see that how they're split apart, not because they stopped loving each other, but because they're both so traumatized by losing their son to the dark side, you know, that they grew apart from each other. You know, I just thought it was really well written like that. Like they both experienced a traumatic event and it ruined the relationship. Not necessarily them falling out of love with each other, but they both got hit so hard by that. You can see the time that had gone by in between, that they had grown into different people than they had known each other. I would have liked to seen Leia be more in a commanding general kind of situation. I'd like to see her command do a lot more stuff. One thing that my cousin and I were talking about too is that, you know, the status of the Resistance I felt like should have been stronger. Would have been nice if they just called it the Alliance. You know, like before it was the Rebel Alliance, now it's just the Reliance. I felt like the Republic should have been stronger and like a little bit closer to how strong the Empire was in the original trilogy. And I felt like the First Order should have been a little bit closer to how powerful the Rebel Alliance was in the trilogy. You know what I mean? Like there should have been a power shift. Like seeing the rebels flying around in a Star Destroyer graffitied with rebel logos on it and stuff like that. That would have been kind of neat. You know, like I wanted to see the deconstruction of the Empire from the last 30 years. That was something that I wanted to see there. So we didn't get that, but you know, it still I gotta say I love the movie, man. The final scene where she finds Luke, there was, curiously enough, it was kind of weird. There was no audience applause for Luke at the end. That was kind of funny to me because, like, when Han first shows up, you know, running out, you know, everybody cheers. You know, we see C-3PO, everybody cheers. We see Leia, everybody cheers. Nobody cheered when Luke came on. So I don't know if we didn't. I knew it was Mark Hamill, but I wasn't sure if people didn't recognize him or by then people start to dislike Luke Skywalker for acting a bit cowardice and running away and everything like that. So I thought it was very good overall. I'm very, very happy. Of course, I found my things I didn't like about it. Oh, and I just wanted to mention when Rey is like, here, like, you got some shit to do, man. Man, we're getting our asses kicked. Like, here, there's some fucked up shit. I thought the look of desperation, like, here, take your shit, get back to work, motherfucker. You know what I mean? You got some shit to do, you know? So I'm very excited for the next movies. Let me know what you guys thought. I absolutely loved it. Of course, there's some things that I didn't like about it so much, but super minor compared to how much I love the movie, and I can't wait to see it again. I hope you guys enjoyed my review. If you did, please hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment. Try not to spoil the movie in the comments below, even though you probably are anyway. And I will catch you guys later. Peace!